Good morning, teacher. I am Belén Inma Cajahuaringa Paredes, and today I'm going to present the final evaluation. Globalization and interculturality have incredible impact on Peru, transforming its identity and its place in the world. In this presentation, we will talk about globalization and interculturality. I will also explain the positive and negative impact of each of these on our country. What is globalization? Well, globalization is a complex and multifaceted process that encompasses the growing interconnection of countries and cultures through cultural, social, economic, and political flows. Globalization is characterized by, first, economic integration, which is the increase in international trade, foreign direct investment, and capital flows. Second, cultural exchange, meaning the dissemination and exchange of ideas, values, customs, and cultural practices through media, social networks, migration, tourism, and others. Third, political interdependence through international cooperation on issues of security, the environment, human rights, and other matters of international interest. And finally, technological advancement, since the development and dissemination of new technologies facilitate global communication and collaboration. Now, let's talk about interculturality. What is it? Well, interculturality is a process of interaction between different cultures that seek a dialogue, respect, and mutual appreciation. It's characterized by the recognition of diversity because it accepts and values the plurality of cultures, languages, beliefs, and values. And likewise, by intercultural dialogue, which establishes spaces for communication between different cultural groups to facilitate the exchange of ideas and perspectives. Also, by equity and social justice, which seeks to promote equal opportunities and rights for all culture groups. And by construction of shared identity, which create spaces for building shared identities that include cultural diversity. Globalization and interculturality will have a positive and negative impact on our country. Regarding globalization, the positive impacts on Peru are economic growth. It facilitates international trade, foreign investment, and access to new markets. Innovation and technology. It promotes the transfer of technology and knowledge between countries. Greater access to goods and services. It expands the supply of goods and services for consumers. Cultural exchange. It facilitates the exchange of ideas, values, and cultural practices. However, the negative impacts on our country are economic inequality, because the benefits of international trade are not always distributed equitably. Exploitation. As a country with low wage and weak labor regulation, this can lead to exploitation. Loss of cultural identity, because the dominant culture can displace the traditional culture. And finally, environmental degradation, due to increased production and consumption, can contribute to environmental degradation. Now, we will look at the positive and negative impacts of interculturality. The positive impact that interculturality generates in our country is cultural enrichment, with the interaction of ideas, knowledge, tradition, and values, enriching all parties involved. Greater understanding and tolerance. Interacting with other cultures foster empathy, understanding, and tolerance for differences. Cultural diversity stimulates innovation and creativity by combining different perspectives. And it contributes to sustainable development by integrating the knowledge of indigenous people and other communities. On the other hand, the negative impact of interculturality is origin of cultural conflicts. If the interaction is not managed appropriately due to differences in values, beliefs, or practices. In some cases, it can lead to the displacement or loss of traditional cultures due to dominant influence. Also, interculturality might not be implemented equitably, generating inequality. And finally, some individuals or groups may resist change and the adopting of new ideas, values, or practices. In conclusion, globalization has very complex and contradictory positive impacts with benefits and challenges that must be carefully considered. It's important to seek an equitable and sustainable globalization model that benefits all countries and people. On the other hand, interculturality offers a great potential for human and social development, but it must be properly managed to avoid negative consequences. It's important to foster dialogue, respect, and mutual understanding to maximize its benefits.